Chapter 29. Free Energy. The next time you buy gasoline for your car, if you're buying Exxon, Chevron, Mobil, Texaco, Union 76, Shell or Arco, you are sending money directly to the Illuminati. This is a quote by J. Michael Thomas Hayes. Nikola Tesla was one of the greatest minds of all time. His inventions were legendary and some consider him to be further advanced than Einstein. There are devices that we all use and take for granted today that have elements within them that can be traced back to his inventions and developments. Tesla was born in 1856 on the 10th of July in a village in a country that is now known as Croatia. When Nikola was born, there was tremendous thunder outside. The midwife helping his mother was very scared, but his mother calmed her down and told the midwife that her child would be a very important person one day. The midwife asked how she knew this, and his mother replied that she did not know how, but intuitively she knew. The one known as Nikola received information from Confederation sources desirous of aiding this extremely, shall we say, angelically positive entity in bettering the existence of its fellow mind-body-spirit complexes. It is unfortunate that, like many wanderers, the vibratory distortions of the third density illusion caused this entity to become extremely distorted in its perceptions of its fellow mind-body-spirit complexes, so that its mission was hindered and in the result, perverted from its purposes. The most desired purpose of Nikola was the freeing of all planetary entities from the darkness. Thus it was attempted to give the planet the infinite energy of the planetary sphere for use in lighting and power. This is an excerpt from the book entitled The Raw Material, The Law of One. Interestingly, Tesla literally played with thunder during some of his experiments, and he was born during similar circumstances. Just like his mother intuitively knew that he would be special, he intuitively knew what to do during his experiments, and he could complete devices within his mind before working on the experiments themselves. The period in which Tesla was born coincided with the old Zaharic prophecy about the opening of the gates of wisdom upon the earth. Interestingly, Albert Einstein was also born during this period. There are many Tesla followers that believe that he was an alien born into this world. Some at the time referred to him as the genius that lit up the world. In childhood he witnessed the death of his brother, who was killed in a riding accident. He was in a state of shock and disbelief and began having visions afterwards. People have commented that Tesla suffered lifelong mental illness caused by the loss of his brother. Another explanation could be that this trigger prepared him for the possibility of using his mind in a unique way. At an early age he showed his superiority of mind as he was fascinated with the natural occurrence of both thunderstorms and lightning. Maybe this was caused by the unique events of his birth. He became fascinated with electricity and became driven to harness the power of the natural universe to be able to help humanity. In 1882, the idea of the brushless AC motor simply came to him as he was out walking. He sketched the images in the sand. The first time that he had an idea, it was in an instant, before creating the idea in his head and then building it from scratch. He moved to New York in 1884 and was hired by Thomas Edison as an engineer at its headquarters. Tesla impressed Edison, and so Edison gave Tesla a challenge to improve the design of one of his DC dynamos. His challenge, if successful, would earn Tesla $50,000. Tesla worked on this challenge for months and then presented his solution to Edison. Edison refused to pay him, and therefore Tesla quit. Tesla then decided to work alone, and his ideas then snowballed. In 1887 and 1888 he was granted more than 30 patents for his inspired inventions. Edison's major competitor, George Westinghouse, was interested in Tesla's work. Tesla kept on creating his inventions. He would often only sleep for 2 hours a night. To the people around him this was incredible. He had unusual amounts of energy and would intuitively get complete schemes in an instant. Tesla built a laboratory in Colorado Springs, Colorado in 1889, to experiment with high-frequency electricity and other phenomena. In his laboratory he received and recorded cosmic radio waves on his sensitive instruments. He then announced that he had received cosmic radio signals that he believed to be extraterrestrial in origin. The scientific community did not believe him, as the knowledge and existence of cosmic radio signals did not exist at that time. He said that, "I can never forget the first sensations I experienced when it dawned on me that I had observed something possibly of incalculable consequences to mankind. I felt as though I were present at the birth of a new knowledge or the revelation of a great truth. My first observations positively terrified me, as there was present in them something mysterious, not to say supernatural, and I was alone in my laboratory at night. But at that time the idea of these disturbances being intelligently controlled signals did not yet present itself to me. The changes I noted were taking place periodically and with such a clear suggestion of number and order that they were not traceable to any cause known to me. I was familiar, of course, with such electrical disturbances as are produced by the sun, aurora borealis, and earth currents, and I was as sure as I could be of any fact that these variations were due to none of these causes. The nature of my experiments precluded the possibility of the changes being produced by atmospheric disturbances, as has been rashly asserted by some. It was some time afterward when the thought flashed upon my mind that the disturbances I had observed might be due to an intelligent control. Although I could not at the time decipher their meaning, it was impossible for me to think of them as having been entirely accidental. The feeling is constantly growing on me that I had been the first to hear the greeting of one planet to another. A purpose was behind these electrical signals. Tesla commented that the signals are too strong to have traveled the great distances from Mars to Earth, so I am forced to admit to myself that the sources must come from somewhere in nearby space or even the Moon. I am certain, however, that the creatures that communicate with each other every night are not from Mars, or possibly from any other planet in our solar system. Tesla mentioned that he had flashes of some kind of light and then he would receive his ideas. He also wrote letters to friends explaining about these mysterious signals. He was convinced that it was communication from ETs. He was mocked by scientists and newspapers for saying that he was in contact with space intelligence and was not overly popular. In Long Island, New York, Tesla built Wardenclyffe Tower, which was 187 feet tall and 120 feet into the ground. Tesla had many wireless transmitter points located all over the Earth. Tesla wanted to move clean, free energy from one tower to another wirelessly. He wanted to give free energy to everyone, but his tower was demolished in 1908. J.P. Morgan was the founder of the project, and probably funded it also. When he discovered the intentions of Tesla to give free energy to the masses, Morgan did everything in his power to thwart him. Tesla invented other suppressed inventions that are kept mysteriously hidden today: beam weapons, wireless power transmission, anti-gravity devices, anti-war shields, etc.